you doing, guys? It's Ilabella here. I do coding stuff on YouTube. Check the description for all my information. I do all LeetCode problems. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a big thumbs up to support it. And this is called count number of teams. There are n soldiers standing in a line. Each soldier is assigned a unique rating value. You have to form a team of 3 soldiers amongst them under the following rules. Choose 3 soldiers with index I, J, and K with rating at I, J, and K. A team is valid if these positions into that rating in ascending order or in descending order. And 0 is less than or equal to I is less than J is less than K, and K is less than N. Return the number of teams you can form the given the conditions. Soldiers can be part of multiple teams. For example, we got rating right here, an array, then we return 3 because we can form 3 teams given the conditions in ascending order and in descending order. Right here we return 0, we can form any team given the conditions. Here we return 4. The length of that array is equal to n. N is greater than or equal to 1 and is less than or equal to 200. Rating at I is greater than or equal to 1 and is less than or equal to the base 10 raised to the power of 5. Well, go for it. First we need to create a variable which is result is equal to 0. Then we are looping through this array. Start from 1. I is less than let's copy that. Let's say rating dot length I plus plus. At each iteration we create 2 arrays. The first one is called less new int. The length of that array is equal to 2, and the second one is called greater, which is new int 2 as well. Then we create another for loop which is nested. J is equal to 0 and J is less than rating dot length J plus plus, and at each iteration we check in the case when the value at the position of I is less than the value at the position of J, we say we increment the value into that less because of that. In the case when J is greater than I, means J to your right, to the right of that I, right? So in this case we increment at the position of 1. Otherwise, if it's to your left, then we increment at the position of 0. Then we create another for loop, and also we check in the case when the value at the position of I is greater than the value at the position of J, we increment the value at the position of greater into that greater at the position of J is greater than I, then at 1, otherwise at 0. Also, after the first after each iteration in the first loop, we increment the result. We say um, let's say greater at 0 multiply by less greater at 1 multiplied by less at 0 plus less at 1 multiply by greater at 0, and finally we return the result. That's it. Let's run this code. There we go. Let's submit. Good. Success. So let's look at this example real quick. First we got result, which is equal to 0. Then we got this array rating right here. Indices 0 because that's 0 based 1, 2, 3, 4. We start looping through this rating here. Here 1. Then we create two arrays, less and greater. We say less, the length of that array is equal to 2. That means that 0, 1, and 2, but we use only these two. And we create greater, right? The same length. Which is 0, 1, and 2. Then we start, here means I, here means J, and J at the position of 0. Then we we check. We can see that the value at the position of I, which is 5 right here, is, we check if it's less than 2. That's not, we skip this condition, we go here. 5 is greater than 2, then we increment, we check J is greater than I. That's not, so we can see that J is to your left, right, on the left side of that I, right here. So we increment the value at the position of 0 into that crater, right? So you can think about that arrays like 0 means let's say 0 means the left side, right, and 1 means the right side. We can delete that 2 right there, and here the same, we got left and we got right. Okay, yeah. Then we incremented that value at the position of 0. Then we go here, we skip this condition and this condition as well. We go here, we can see that 5 is not less than 3. We go here, we can see that j on the right side, okay, because I here, and we increment into that greater at the position of at the position of 1, because j is greater than I by 1, means that we do this, and then we increment j by 1 again. 5 is greater than j, again we increment by 1 here, then we go here, again we increment by 1 here, we got 3, right? Then we out of that loop, and we say result, the previous result, which is 0 plus greater, here we got zeros by default, and we increment, we just say greater at the position of I, which is 3. Let's say we got here, or just here, let's say we got 3, we got 0, then we got less, which is 0 as well, and 1. We increment 3 by 0, which is 0, 0 plus 0 by 1, which is 0 as well, so the result is equal to 0 as well. Then we move this I to this position, right? Yeah. And we say j is equal to 0. Then we can see that 3, right? 3 is not less than 2 again, so we skip this condition, we go here, and we increment j to your left, right here, like, you know, to your left, so you increment the value into this greater at the position of 0 by 1. Here we got zeros because we just created new ones, new arrays. We got zeros here. We increment by 1 here, and we move to the next one, j, which is 5. We can see that 3, right, is less than 5, so we increment, and j to your left, we increment into that less at the position, the value at the position of 0 by 1, and means that 3 is less than 5, and we increment the j by 1, again we skip these conditions, then we go here, 3 is less than 4, then again we can see that j to your right here, okay, to the right, on the right side, according to this element I, right? So we increment 3 is less than 4, we increment into that less the position of 1 by 1, and we go here, right, and here we can see that 3 is greater than 1, so we increment into that greater the position of 1 by 1, and we out of that loop again we calculate the result, the previous result, which is 0, plus we got here greater at 1, we got 1, then less at 0 we got 1, at less at 1 we got 1 as well, and greater at 0 we got 1. So 1 by 1 is equal to 1, and here we got 1, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So the result is equal to 2, and we do the same, you know, in the next iterations, and we finally got this answer, which is 3. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments below. I want to know what you think. Follow me on social medias. I do all LeetCode problems. Follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, and I wish you all the best. Do your best and forget the rest. Thank you. Bye.